Manx Radio Sport.
Charlie Higgins under this FCL can't bring it under his spell initially, neither can Sean Marquez, so now a chance for Irlam to come away with it to Mason Everton. Great through ball down the right hand side and in on the right edge box. Jack Mitchell looks across, directed towards his own goal by Michael Williams and saved by Killier. Almost inadvertently, the FC Alaman diverting past his own goalkeeper. Callum Sherry coming away with this, looking down the right hand side, but FC Alaman carved open for the first time in this contest. A footed in swinger from around 10 yards inside the Irlam half. Whipped into the back post. That's a good, solid header away by Francis and cleared by Mason Everton. And now there's a running race on here, and it's Jack Mitchell up against this marker. He's leaving Sam Baines for dead here. Puts him in one-on-one with Killier. It's a heavy touch, and that allows Killier to smother it on the edge of the box. Another chance for Irlam in the space of around a minute and a half or so. Irlam breaking quickly from the FC Alaman free kick. FC Alaman are bodies piling forward, cleared straight through the centre of the bottom. There's Jack Mitchell already showing his pace. He's beaten Sam Baines for pace there, in on the goalkeeper. But the final touch, Tony, agonisingly too heavy, and allowed Adam Killier to come out and smother it.
You can already suss out Mitchell's quick, and they've got to be careful of that, because that's in the last couple of minutes Sam Baines has been caught out twice.
Skips past a couple of challenges, looks for Steve Whitley on the right, slides to keep it in play at the expense of giving it away. FC Alaman back in possession. Here's Higgins on the edge of the box here, onto his left foot, on the edge of the pass, it goes low! Brilliant finish into the bottom corner! And FC Alaman have taken the lead despite Irlam providing the early threat. FC Alaman 1, Irlam 0. Callum Sherry initially riding past a couple of Irlam challenges on the right-hand side, found Steve Whitley. His loose effort to try and keep it in play, half cleared by Edwards, back into Sean Marquez of FC Alaman. Charlie Higgins advanced forward, and the Ravens' top goal scorer, a couple of step overs, got it onto his favoured left foot around 20 yards out, and he rifled it. It zips off the surface, low to Elliot Winsright, and into the bottom right-hand corner. And although they've been the ones sustaining the more significant pressure in this first half so far, with just under 70 minutes played, Tony, FC Alaman lead by a goal to nil.
What a great strike that was, and down to Callum Sherry really, because he didn't have many options on. He played it. It was a little bit of a tight ball for Steve Whitley, and it looked as if it was going to go out, but Steve just managed to slide down on it and pull the ball back, and Callum Sherry again into Joe Marquez, and Marquez into Charlie Higgins, and you could just see him drop the shoulder at the right hand side, moved it to the left, hit it so sweetly, and the goalkeeper stood no chance.
Just coming up to 20 minutes played. John Johnston over this free kick, 2 in the wall for FC Alaman. FC Alaman leading by a goal to nil. Charlie Higgins a couple of minutes ago in the 17th minute, putting the home side ahead. But they've got plenty of bodies forward. The likes of Holt and Francis up from the back as well. Goes short to the edge of the box. Mason Everton, first time for goal. Saved by Killier down to his right. Well struck by Mason Everton. It wasn't the easiest one to take either. A bobbling ball straight from the free kick, taken quickly to the left-hand side by Johnston to Mason Everton, strode onto it confidently, almost side-footed it through the bodies of players, and Adam Killier down to his right-hand side to tip it around the post.
Yeah, he did well. It was struck well, a lot of pace, good distance out.
Elliot wins free kick into the FC Alaman half, headed away by Williams. Irlam riposte with the ball out to the right-hand side to Jack Mitchell. Forced back a couple of yards to Larkin on Irlam's right-hand side. Now Francis wants to float one over the top. Callum Sandel, flag stays down for at least a moment, wants to bring it down. Carl Clark will go there. Oh, and it's been bobbled and it's into the back of the net. Now I'm not sure whether it's Callum Sandel or Carl Clark with the final touch there, but what we can say is Irlam have levelled. FC Alaman 1, Irlam 1. Ball over the top from Alex Francis, and Sandel didn't quite get the touch right first of all, but as Carl Clark came in there, wanted to intercept, and whether the final touch was off the toe of Callum Sandel, it may well be. We'll just wait for confirmation on that, whether it was he or Carl Clark, but it took it past Adam Killier, who just seemed to be wrong-footed for a moment there, under Killier to his left, and just clips in off the inside of the post, Tony, 1-1.
Yeah, spot on analysis, Rob, because Adam was going right-hand side, and the ball went to his left. He couldn't do much about it because his body weight had already gone, but yeah, I think he toe poked it, and it just sort of caught him out. Bit of a misunderstanding, and that's what we were saying before, that you don't want to give away cheap goals, and unfortunately that's what's happened there.
Irlam with a bit of pressure late in the half here. That's a clip ball into the box, and that's comfortably collected by Adam Killier this time. That might be the last action of this first period, but it was a Luke Booth back pass, a misplaced one, that got it into Callum Sandel. Comes to nothing for Irlam, and that is indeed the end of an intriguing first 45 minutes here at the Bowl in the NWCFL Premier Division. Half-time, FC Alaman 1, Irlam 1. Whitley forced back a couple of yards, around 40 yards out here. Whitley up against Holt. Looking back out to that right-hand side, does have the option of a teammate in Marquez. Whitley whips it into the box instead. That might deflect into the path of Adebayo, and a tight angle, good save by Wynn. And it's a penalty. Referee's blown for a penalty here. Well, what seems to have happened there is whipped in from the right-hand side, and as it came in, Joe Middleton got the final touch. It didn't seem headed goalward. It was well wide of Elliot Wynn's left-hand post, and Adam Adebayo was quickest to the loose ball, rifled it towards goal from a tight angle. Wynn came flying out, and the referee has adjudged, Tony, that he's taken out Adam Adebayo before he got to the ball. What do you think of that one?
Goalkeeper came out strong. He's got his back to us, Rob, so we haven't got a clear vision of it. But it looked as if he sort of wrapped himself around whether to get the ball and just wrapped himself around the player, but the goalkeeper's not happy.
Charlie Higgins stepping up from the penalty spot, already scored once for FC Alaman today. Now can he do it from 12 yards? Higgins steps up, left-footed, slots it home, and FC Alaman lead by 2-1. Higgins with his and FC Alaman's second after Adam Adebayo was adjudged to have been brought down by Elliot Wynn inside the Irlam penalty area. Adebayo is just about back on after that knock. Higgins stepping up left-footed from 12 yards. Wynn went down to his left. Higgins went the other way and slotted it in the bottom corner. Higgins looping ball out to Michael Williams on the right edge of the box. Clip back into the penalty area here. Trying to attack that is Joe Middleton. Might fall to Carl Clark here. He goes down to challenge another penalty. FC Alaman have another penalty. And it's Carl Clark who's gone down under a challenge. It was just floated in rather speculatively by Michael Williams. No one seemed to be able to get a telling touch on it as Carl Clark brought it down with a sea of blue shirts around him. He was clipped as he tried to get the shot away towards goal. We're not quite sure who got the final touch to bring down Clark, but what we do know is, Tony, FC Alaman have a second opportunity from the penalty spot.
Strong signal by the referee, and he made the decision very quickly as well.
So Higgins with 2 goals already, looking for a hat-trick and potentially give FC Alaman what would be a big cushion going into the final 10 minutes of the game here. Higgins steps up, left-footed again, chips it down the middle, it's off the crossbar, Higgins heads it in on the rebound. Bizarre, actually the referee has given a free kick.
Just clarity, it was because a player hadn't connected with it, if a goalkeeper or another player connected it, but if another player had gone in and put it in, goal. But because Charlie had taken the pen and I hadn't hit a player, disallowed.
So Irlam have themselves a corner on this right-hand side. The visitors keeping the pressure up here. FC Alaman, it's a real rarity for them to have a home win so far this season. They're hanging on at the moment, but can they hang on for longer is the question. Left-footed in swinger from Edwards into the box, and that's clipped away by the goalkeeper. Right foot back in. Brilliant finish from Mason Everton. FC Alaman 2, Irlam 2. The pressure is told from the visitors. It was whipped in at the near post, and a combination of defender and woodwork, I think, deflected it to the left-hand edge of the penalty area. And Mason Everton rasping half volley from around 12 yards through the bodies and into the back of the net here. And FC Alaman, they've not been able to hold off Irlam for a second time. Irlam twice have now come back in this one to level things up. And it looks like that long wait for a home win might be going on, Tony. 2-2.
Adam Killia's in the back of the net as well. He's not looking too good. The referee's gone over and the physio has gone on. But what an absolute rasping strike that was by Everton. It was absolutely brilliant because he sort of hooked it with his right foot. It had so much pace on it. It just absolutely flew into the back of the net.
It's going to be a Callum Sherry throw-in for FC Alaman on the right-hand side, just as the drizzle starts to fall again. But FC Alaman, as it stands, looking at another point on the board. Irlam may look at this as potentially 2 dropped in their pursuit of a place in the top 5, of course, a long way in the season to go. And also important to point out that Irlam do have games in hand on the majority of teams above them as well, so there is room for catch-up for John Mayne's side. Marquez for FC Alaman. That's rifled away and over the top of the defence. That's going to fall to Declan Daniels on the left edge of the box here. Wants to square it. It's John Johnston, maybe with a chance to win it over the bar. Oh, what a chance for Irlam to win this one. And that is the last kick of the game. Goodness me. Full time. FC Alaman 2, Irlam 2. One Irlam player on the ground. They can't quite believe that. But Irlam missing the chance right at the end there to win it.
Manx Radio Sport.